Namaste. Okay, so this is part 2 of what is the Matrix illusion? What is this matrix that we find ourselves in? And how did the Wachowski twins even know to write the storyline for the Matrix? First movie, what was that, back in the 90s? That was before we knew anything about these latest revelations and in quantum physics and quantum mechanics. We were only just beginning to brush upon, quantum entanglement and the field theory. Were they channeling? Were the Wachowski twins who wrote the Matrix movies, were they channeling? I've been shown yes, they were. And I'm being shown yes right now. They were channeling. We are all channeling. Every inspiration, every inspired work comes from, ultimately, your higher self, the field, whatever you want to call it. Higher intelligence, deeper, broader intelligence. But where does that come from? Is that you or is that someone else? Well, guess what? We're coming to our next illusion. The next illusion is the illusion of individuality. The illusion of division, of separation. There's all these countries fighting over border lines and territory and resources and money. Power, ultimately, is power. Domination. And looking at other people as just cannon fodder, or whatever you want to call them, looking at other people as just cattle to just be exterminated and wiped out, looking at people as if they're just pieces of shit, basically, just to be wiped out, exterminated. If these third density leaders and these third density human beings in command of these armies only could see things, if they could only see things from the higher, deeper, broader perspective, if they only knew individuality does not exist, it's an illusion. Multidimensionality is the truth, is your truth. So not only are you not separate from everybody else, not only are you connected to everybody else, ultimately you are everybody else. We're ultimately one. The law of one states that all is one. The law of mentalism states that all in manifest creation is a mental construct, a mental projection, as a word to speak. Everything is projected out of the divine mind. Everything in physicality is a subjective thought or mental projection projected out into what we call the Matrix, what we call manifest reality. This is where the mind of the divine mind, the mind of God, the mind of Source, whatever you want to call it, this is where the mind, the one mind, differentiates itself into the illusion of many, into the illusion of individualizations. Individualization is an illusion. You see, the more we're talking about this, and the more that these great researchers and great scientists, like Donald Hoffman, by the way, his book was called one of his books, his most famous book, is called The Case Against Reality. He proves that what we call reality does not exist. It's an illusion. He said all of this is coming from somewhere else, ultimately, and that nothing that we class as an object, as like he gives examples as like you look at the moon and you think that's really there, like we observe it. It's not. He's ran supercomputer simulations to to basically prove that our theories of evolution, our theories of existence, our theories of space-time, the actual theory itself of space-time is illusory. He says that reality is not at all what we think it is. And he doesn't claim to know what it is. He just proves what it isn't. And it isn't anything like how we perceive it to be. So we are multidimensional units of consciousness. But ultimately, the units of consciousness is an illusion. Because ultimately there is only one thing in all of existence, in all of the universes, in the multiverse, in the omniverse of universes. There is ultimately one thing happening, one thing going on. And that's what my higher self calls the divine mind, the source. The source wanted to, it already knew itself subjectively. It already knew itself and all of its possible, probable abilities and outcomes anyway, okay, conceptually. So what the divine mind then desired to do was to have some kind of a construct, an illusory construct, which would feel and seem very, very real. Incredibly real. So real that it fools you. It fools 99.9% of us. And even the ones of us who understand this, it still fools us. Okay, so even when you understand how this works, you are still within the illusion. It still feels bloody real, right? But it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. So we're multidimensional. In other words, you are not just the you, the individualized portion of consciousness that is the sole aspect that is watching or listening to this now. The you that is watching this video right now is just one tiny speck, one tiny fraction of a projection of a higher self, a much more broader, more expansive version of you. There are countless other aspects of you from your higher self being projected into manifest reality right now in multiple different dimensions and multiple different what we would call locations, but even location is an illusion. So there is the illusion of separate aspects of your soul being projected out into the illusion of separate dimensions in separate densities of consciousness. conscious awareness, states of conscious awareness, in other words. And there is the illusion of linear time and the illusion of space-time. For the divine mind to be able to experience these illusions and play out all of the different possible probable outcomes that it created ahead of time. And what is happening right now is, imagine a lot of DVD players, yeah, right, playing these video games. Yeah, let's just say video games. Imagine loads of video game consoles or PCs. Or imagine lots of movies being played out, and you know all the outtakes from the movies, and you know all the different levels from the games, the computer games. Every single eventuality, every single level, every single possibility. You see, a computer game and a movie, they have thousands and thousands of takes or thousands and thousands of different scenes per minute, usually, of gameplay or minute of watch time of the movie, right? There are, for every one scene that you watch on a movie, there's probably been 1,000 or maybe 10,000 takes with all these different ways of expressing the same thing, the same line. And on the computer games, the computer game code designers, for each level of the game, there's millions and millions of different potential outcomes that character, that avatar, can then display on any one level. And they have to account for all of these. They have to create all of these codes ahead of time. Okay, but they found now that the easiest way and the most efficient way of doing this is by fractal programming fractals. I forget the name of the game now, but there's some incredible game that they managed to fit onto a DVD that would usually take thousands and thousands of DVDs worth of space. And they did it. It's like this multi-world, multi-universe game where you delve into your chosen universe, and all these universes are different. There's all these different avatars. Well, we are the avatars within our own fractal-based holographic game. God, it's nearly 15 minutes already. Okay, clearly this is going to take a bit of unpacking. It's probably going to take quite a few videos. And I'm doing this as and when I can, because I never know how I'm going to be with this CRPS. Okay, so I'm just going to play this by ear. I would rather wait until I'm feeling really good and do really good quality videos than do half-assed videos when I'm feeling a bit naff. So I'm just doing this as and when I can. You know, we will continue with this in part 3 of what is the Matrix illusion. Okay, namaste.